Hey guys, it's TheRykerDane. I've got a 96 Ford Mustang here, and I've got a problem. And I'm driving, and my odometer and my trip gauge is not working. So don't worry, it's a pretty easy fix. You just need to order a couple parts. So let me show you how to do it. So what you're gonna need is a screwdriver that you can put in a T20 Torx bit, and also a 9/32 socket attached to your screwdriver. And then the parts you're going to need to order comes in a combo pack with two different gears. There's a worm gear and then a bigger gear that's going to go right into the dash. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is take your T20 Torx bit, and we're going to take out these two bolts, one right here and one right here. The next thing you want to do is take your headlight knob off. Now sometimes you can just pull them, or you can wedge in a flathead screwdriver right here to be able to pry it off. But this one you can just pull straight off. So once you have the headlight knob off and these two screws, all you're going to do is just pull out, and this bezel will pop out. And once you get that off, you can use that same T20 Torx bit to take off some screws back here, or you can use the 9/32 socket. We've got screws 1, 2, and a couple on this side, 3 and 4. Now once you get those 4 screws out, you can pull the whole dash unit out. Very back, there's going to be 2 separate electrical plugs that you're going to want to disconnect. There's one right here, and there's one on the other side. There's one. And here's the other one. Once you get those, we can remove the whole unit. Okay, so now that we have it out of the car and on the bench, we can take a T15 Torx bit, and we're going to remove all the screws around the outside so we can take the cover off. Okay, so once you got the screws out, just remove this top cover. Once you got that off, we can remove every one of these sections. So what you may need is just a flathead screwdriver just to pry underneath the edge. You just pull it straight up. Just pry that straight up. You're just basically just disconnecting the connections. So before we can remove this center one, we want to make sure we get this last screw out of here. And once you pull this part out, you can just set this aside. I'm going to take this and flip it over. So to remove this motor right here, there's a couple tabs on each side. You may just need to use your flathead and just pry up a little bit so you can twist it off. Same with the other side. Be able to just twist it and pull it straight up. And here is your worm gear that you're going to want to replace as long as you're in here. This one isn't too bad, but we're going to replace that, and then your other big gear right there. So you can take your flathead and try to pry this up, but a lot of these gears, they just kind of end up deteriorating and kind of falling apart. Pull this out of here. As you can see, this plastic, I can just break it apart. And that's how deteriorated that plastic is. You can just break it. And then just make sure you flip it over and get out any other pieces that may be inside. Also, you can use an air compressor and just blow out the inside there. And you just use a flathead to pry this little gear off here. So we'll take this new worm gear right here and put it on this motor, and it may take a little bit of effort because it's a little bit tight, but that's okay. You want to push it all the way down and give yourself just a little bit of space between the motor and the gear there. That should be good. Take this other gear here, put it right down in the slot. You won't be able to mess this up, so don't worry. But just push it all the way down, make sure it gets next to the other gear that's part of the console, the odometer itself. And then to make sure that it's in there all the way, you can even just spin it just a little bit to make sure it's working. And then we'll just take this motor, put this back in here, gotta twist it down, and twist it back till it locks. And that's it. Now we'll just flip this back over, and we'll put it back inside here. Take our two side pieces, push those down, make sure they go all the way in and they connect. Do this other gas and heat gauge, push those in, make sure they engage. So after those are all in, we'll make sure we put back in this screw right here, and then we'll put on the cover and we'll put in all the screws that go all the way around. Now we got the new gears back in the odometer and the trip meter, and now we're just going to put it back in reverse order. I hope this video helped you out fixing your Mustang odometer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.